Hello, if you are checking this out, thank you very much. You are watching a video called Don't Panic During the Panic. And just got to warn you, the volume is a little messed up. Do not worry about that. But please take in the information that I am trying to share with you here. And again, thank you for checking this video out. I just want to give that pre-warning. The audio is a little messy because hey, I'm learning how to do this. You guys are coming on the journey with me. The information is good, the audio is not so much, but it's going to be better in future videos, and hopefully this even sounds better than the rest of this video. So again, here it is. Don't panic during the panic. Everyone's panicking right now. You don't have to, and this is why. Thank you for checking it out. All right, everyone. So, thank you for joining me here today. My name is Uneducated Yogi, and we're going to be talking about don't panic during this panic, all this panic that's happening right now. Don't panic. I don't know if I put it in here. I did not. But don't panic during all this panic. That's the topic of today. And what does that mean? You have all this tariff talk. You have all of this talk about recession and crashes. But first, I want to say I'm sorry I've been MIA. I know this is a new channel, but I had a idea in my mind that I'm going to be doing this 3 days a week, and it's not going to be cut. And we're here, and it's been, I don't know, a week or two, and I haven't put anything out. But this is the thing. This is how we know this is real, what I am doing with y'all, as far as being vulnerable, transparent. I'm not trying to act like I'm somebody I'm not. I really want to show how we can come from zero to hero, so to speak. And there's a channel out there called Zero to Hero. We'll talk about later. But that's not what I mean. I mean actual zero to hero. If you're following me right now, you're following us, you can understand that I'm taking a portfolio from scratch. You guys are seeing it from scratch, and we're growing it together. And then I'm going to get into legal things about how to do this. I'm going to get into smart ways to do this with little information, smart ways to do this with more information. So it's an actual real journey. So I'm sorry I've been MIA for a bit. I was working on life and another friend's business. We are One Family Investing, where we invest, learn, and profit. And we are called One Family because everything that I do, it is to be one with everyone, to know that community is more powerful than us as individuals. But we have to work on our individual self. Like, you have to not invest money in the stock market, but we have to invest time in ourselves in order to learn how to invest properly to make profit. So that is why, One Family Investing, this is the website. You can sign up for the newsletter, but you can also just turn on the bell notification here. Please do subscribe. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers so I can then start to stream. So this is fresh. This is new. Thank you for being here. And let's get into the content of the day. Yeah, shall we? So, okay, so I want to go over something that I think is very important for investors. So do not panic during the panic. This is really relevant for what's been happening with the tariff talks, market crashes, resets, or recession talk. All this stuff, what is going on, it can be very scary, and as new investors, it is scary. It's like, okay, well, this person is telling me to invest in the market, but all this crazy, like all this insanity is happening. You know, the market's moving down. I don't know what's going on. Um, I think one thing I can share that I haven't pulled up is my Robinhood. So we're gonna go over a couple videos. I'm gonna do that now. Little by little. Okay. So one thing we got to talk about is how do professional investors play the game, right? So one thing that's going to help us is by doing research, and that's one of the things I promise here at One Family Investing is I'm here putting in the work for y'all, okay? So I don't, you know, you don't need to know everything that I know, but I'm sharing as much as I can to where whatever I'm sharing, you can make moves yourself, and at the same time, you know, build the confidence. But we build the confidence by knowing what other people are doing in the game and not doing exactly what they're doing. And there is something to that. We will be doing exactly what they're doing, but at the same time, we're learning through how we will play the game. So when I'm first starting out, I should if I want to play basketball, I need to watch the Michael Jordans, I need to watch the Kobe Bryants, I need to watch the Stephen Currys, I need to watch, you know, the LeBron James, I need to watch the Shaqs, I need to watch, because these are great people in the game, the Magic Johnsons, the Larry Birds, you know, I gotta watch the great people in the game and then do what they do. Oh, they go to practice early, I'm gonna go to practice early. Oh, they stay after the game late, I'm going to say after the game late. They're not great for no reason. Oh, they eat like this? Let me eat like this. Schedule-wise. They don't go out and drink. Oh, I'm not going to go out and drink. Or they went out and, you know, had one. Or, we look at them and go, okay, well, let's model their behavior. Let's model what they're doing. And then when we get into it, we make it our own. So that's the same thing that we got to do with this game called the investing game. Playing the market game. So how do the professional investors play the game? There's a saying, buy when they panic, sell when they are greedy. Now, if you hear that, I'm not saying buy when they panic, meaning the professionals. I'm saying when the mass people, the masses, when the masses are panicking, like times like right now, those are actually known to be good times to buy. And when people are being greedy, like when a stock rises up and everybody goes, oh, it's hot right now. Let's get some, let's get some, let's get some. That's actually the time when we don't buy. We're actually selling or we're holding. And then if we feel like we need to pull profit, you know, later, that's when we pull profit. So how do the professionals play the market, or what are professionals thinking about right now? Again, One Family Investing, we are here to invest, learn, and profit. So, and not necessarily in that order. Sometimes we got to learn first, but sometimes we got to take the move. We got to shoot the gun. So check out this clip from one of the people I follow who's been in the market way longer than me and has way more money, meaning risk, in the game than me. So let's check out this clip.
Crash in the market. And since I've been on YouTube since 2016, I've never seen a lot of corrections or crashes in the market. Right? I saw the crash in 2022 when the Nasdaq fell around 37%. Saw the crash in 2020, which was the fastest stock market crash in history. You know, S&P 500 fell almost 35%, like in a matter of a few weeks. It's ridiculous, right? Obviously seen this, seen the 2018 drop. I've seen enough corrections and crashes since I've been on YouTube and kind of, you know, seeing retail investors come and go in the market, and traders and things like that. These markets is when you really find out who's long-term investors and who's not. Really is. Everybody can say, oh, I'm a long-term investor. Oh, I'm an investor. When the market goes up every day, it's not hard to do. If the market goes up every day and all your portfolio does go up, I don't know one person that wouldn't feel comfortable with that. You could be the most risk adverse person in the world, but if every day you wake up and your portfolio is a bigger number and bigger number and bigger number, you're like, oh, I just made $5,000, oh, I just made $10,000, I just made $25,000. Who could do that? Everybody could do that. These markets, this is when you find out who's really long-term investors. Because you know what happens? Some investors sell. They sell. Some investors never come back to the market. Some investors say, I'm going to sell now, I'm going to get back in, blah, blah, blah. And then they think they're going to get better returns. I have yet to see one person in my 16 years plus in the stock market, in my nearly 10 years on YouTube now, gosh, just dating myself, 10 years on YouTube, I have yet to see one person who times in and out of the market all the time, who has great returns over a 5+ year span. Haven't seen it. All these people that say, oh, it's going down a lot more, I'm going to time back in near the bottom, boom, boom, boom. It's all baloney. If I look at those people's returns, they're bad. They're not even probably keeping up with the S&P 500. Because they're trying to play these games of like short-term, blah, blah. Short-term doesn't get you anywhere. You should know that. I don't know one person on that Forbes list that got there by focusing on the short term. Every single person on that Forbes list was thinking long term. Every single one. From Bezos to Buffett to Musk, these guys are all thinking years in the future. Every business legend you could have ever looked up to, Steve Jobs, they're thinking years go in the future. They're not worried about today. Today is what today is. If you want the big money, you better be focusing on what's happening 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. The day-to-day drama is just what it is. It's just a drama. It's here today, gone tomorrow. And who knows, a month from now, half these tariffs could be removed or depleted or whatever. It's going to be what it's going to be. But you got to be thinking years ahead. And so in these sorts of markets, this is what you find out who's the boys and who's the men in this market. Because the men are stepping up, and they're going to buy if the market goes another 20% low.
Okay, so so if you're hearing him, this is when we find out who's the real investors, and he keeps noting, that, the real players, they don't panic, They say, who cares what's happening with the market right now? Because I'm thinking about years ahead. So that's what we're doing. I want y'all to know. I want y'all to have the confidence that when I bring information, and honestly, if y'all wanted to just follow Jeremy, I'm just going to let you know right now. If y'all just want to go follow Jeremy, you can go follow Jeremy. I've been following him for a while now, and I mean, I'm telling you right now, he has a lot of good information. You don't even have to follow me, but I don't want that. I want you to follow me because I'm not only following him, I'm following a bunch of other people. I'm presenting I'm doing exactly what I just said you guys should do, which is follow the big guys, the ones who are smarter than us in what we want to do. We follow them for a while. I've had a Robinhood portfolio. I've shared this already since 2012 or 16. I don't know, but for a long time, 12. And of all time, I don't care what's happening in the market because my portfolio tends to do pretty well. Okay, I was like, what's going on? Okay, so of all time, my portfolio is still up 102%, which is pretty good. 3 months ago, so it was down. So this is one of those things to where I could have panicked and pulled profit during this time because it was so dang low 3 months ago, right? But what I'm saying, even since one day ago, we're already up $33. But this portfolio, once the market corrects back, this is going to go from 3,000 to 5,000, or my portfolio has been up around 200 and some percent. So right now it's just down for right now. I'm, in the game enough to where I know that is going to go back up. This is why I'm not panicking. I'm okay with what's happening with my portfolio over here. All of these top stocks right here is what I own in my private portfolio. This is my private portfolio. But don't go buying any of the stocks that you're seeing here. That's why I'm taking us from ground zero with a new portfolio. So this is the public portfolio right here. It's in Charles Schwab. This is one of the ones I would recommend you guys get, unless you don't have a lot of funds to invest, and you get Robinhood first. But the point is, you start playing the game first. But you have to know the game. You have to know how the people in the game are thinking. So right now, this is our portfolio. We have Cloudflare, we have Block, this is Square, we have Genius Sports, we have ST Microelectronics, we have ARC Space Exploration, we have Destiny Inc. These are ETFs down here. So these two have a bunch of stocks in them. And we'll talk about that later. These are the type of stocks I would recommend you guys get in the beginning of when you're starting. But I'm going to be bringing out those picks as we keep going. This is why I should be on here every day talking to y'all, because I'm educating you on the mindset. I'm educating you on what picks are happening. And I'm educating you on, or we're growing together and understanding how these crazy markets work during any time, during the good times, the bad times, the neutral times. So I know that all this red, so this is our full gains and losses over here, all this red down over here. So right now, this is the only stock that is positive since One Family Investing bought. But that's okay. I'm actually excited because then I can get these on discount. So the price of STM, for instance, is $20 a stock. And I have 20 of them. And we are down $102. That means we have a discounted price. I don't know where, it's not showing where I bought the actual stock price at. But so right now, if I buy STM or Block or Cloudflare or Destiny or ARC, I will be getting all of them on a discount, and that is very good for someone who knows how to play the game and think long term. Now, if I was thinking short term, I'd be mad, I'd want to sell. So I don't want y'all to be that way, okay? So let's keep going. So, and I just wanted to give another point of view, because I'm not going to show you a whole bunch of people that I follow, but I just picked a couple people who I feel kind of explain this moment pretty well to us. But again, the link to these people, to these videos, will be in the description. So if you want to see the full video of these, you can check them out. But it's good to understand people who are all the way right, all the way left, in the middle. So I watch so many videos. I'm just picking two people right now who spoke about it in an intelligent way to where it's not going to make my people panic and make it worse. But I don't want to show you the whole videos, because these videos are long sometimes. But it's important to watch this. It's important to do research when we're doing stuff like this.
Out about the market right now? Stay with me, because I have a lot to tell you. So here's what I want you to understand. There's not an important time than right now for you to not make moves that are going to hurt you. Short-term moves will hurt your long-term financial plans. Now, I know these markets are going down and down and down. And as I'm recording this, the markets are down seriously again. I can't even believe it. However, you have to ask yourself why. Why on April 4th, 2025, Is the market going down more than it went down on April 3rd and so forth last week? And here is the reason why. Now, you know that we have tariffs that have been put in place. But what you may not know, and the reason why the market is going down so much today, is China did not like what we did, not at all. So they put on tariffs. And the investment community does not like that they retaliated. They don't like it at all. So the markets are going down.
So I want to, the important thing to note here is that if you're listening to her, the masses are reactive, okay? So this is why investors get excited, and we as investors, we're okay with people being reactive. So when we hear about Wall Street aren't investors like us individual investors. So you'll hear individual investors talk about Wall Street because I don't know, they just operate differently. I don't know how to explain it right now in such a way, but even they will panic. Even the Wall Street people, even they will panic with the public. And it's just amazing. Okay, so hear how she's saying this. She's saying, people didn't like something. That's being reactive. It's not being. It doesn't necessarily mean being smart. When you're reactive to something, sometimes we can react when we're angry. We can react when we're even overly excited about something. We can be reactive, and then we can go, "Dang, my bad. I didn't mean to do that." That's because we're reactive. So the market, when people are reactive, we get excited. We get excited because that means they're going to overdo something, and it gives us a chance to make a nice move.
We're down about 3.5%, 4% on the Standard & Poor's 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the NASDAQ. So what should you be doing right now? Most of you, if you know me, you know I've told you forever, money that you need within 5 years is not money that belongs in the stock market. So if you have money that you needed right away, of course you're freaking out. But if you have been following me for all these years, then you should be okay. What you need to understand right here and right now is a lot of you are looking and you're going, "Oh, the market's down. I'm going to buy now. I'm buying at the bottom." You are not to be bottom fishing here. This market that we have right now reminds me of the market in 2022. Do you remember? When everything kept going down and down and down. You will have plenty of time to get back in this market if it does turn around. But this is not a market that is all of a sudden going to turn around and go straight up. Do you hear me again? What you need to get is, hey, if you're dollar cost averaging right now, all right, you can go in, but with little amounts of money.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about dollar cost averaging real quick. So she said, don't go in the market, don't be bottom fishers, right? Meaning, like, people, they'll say, "Hey, Yogi, I need to buy at the bottom. I need to buy at the bottom." And I've been hearing that, and I've been telling them, there's no such thing as knowing how to buy at the bottom, because unless you have some magic device that says when the bottom is, which is very hard to predict, you're not buying at the bottom. We don't want to think like that here at One Family Investing. What we're doing is we're going, what's the nice time to buy? Is this a smart time to buy? What are the smart people who seem to keep making money during times like this? What are they doing? And then we're just going to do that. I ain't got time to do nothing else. Okay? So she's talking about something called dollar cost average. And we'll talk about that here right now, actually, because that is one of the techniques that people do. If they still want to buy right now, they're doing this thing. So I'll show you what that means right now.
And let's go back to when I got in the market in late 2008 into 2009. When I was getting in the market back then, I would tell anybody about, essentially I'm getting in the market, like I'm starting to invest. I'm really excited about this. I'm really passionate about that, right? People had nothing good to say. Nothing good to say about the stock market. I mean, absolutely nothing. And even into 2010, Still the same situation. No one had anything good to say. They all said, be careful, it's so bad, blah, 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 right? And here's why they said that. The reason being is if you look at the stock market 5 years later was at the same level. The same level 5 years later, right? So people had seen nothing but really losses, or let's call it the stock market doing a whole lot of nothing for many, many years. Now, the stock market didn't do nothing for all those years. And here's what people don't tell you. I'm going to show you exactly what they don't tell you. Here's what they don't tell you. If you were buying throughout the entire great financial crisis crash, you made a fortune. The only people that didn't make a fortune in the great financial crisis were the individuals that chose to not buy during that crash. Because think about it like this, right? Let's say you just bought one share of the S&P 500 as the stock market crashed and as the stock market came back, right? So you bought one share of 1,500, 1,400, 1,300, 1,200, 1,100, 1,000, 900, 800, 700, right? And then you bought all the way back up. Look at how this math works, okay? So your cost basis, and remember, you started buying at the peak of the market, which is so unrealistic, buying at the peak of the market. But we're going to say you had the worst time possible, and you started your buying at the literal peak of the market, right? So your cost basis on those shares you bought are $19,800, right, on your 18 shares. That 18 shares then is then worth $27,000, which means you have $7,200 of gains. Now, this is over like a 5+ year span. And so you would hopefully be buying a lot more than a share over that time period, right? Hopefully you'd be buying like 5 shares or 10 shares or whatever, right? Each time period over that 5 year span. So you could say this $7,200 of gains might end up being $72,000 gains. So yeah, the stock market had nothing to show for it over that 5 years or so, but you could have still made a fortune just buying the indexes and just buying them consistently over time. You didn't have to time it out per.
So you're hearing this 5 year span thing. So this is what we're talking about, right? We're learning early on how investors are actually thinking. And when Jeremy's talking about, hey, even if you bought at the peak of the market, so let's just say you started to buy before the crash, as long as you buy in a certain type of way throughout time, through a 5 year time period, your average price per share is going to balance itself out. Now, we don't have to break down the whole math because I can't break it down in a like 2-step process, but basically, I like what he's saying here. He's showing us that he said you would have made, $19,000 or $7,000 worth of gains because your average cost would have been, worth $27,000 when you spent 19,800. Okay, so I hope that's making sense. You spent 19,800 over time because you were buying consistently, but you made $7,200 because you were buying consistently, which you bought so many shares for cheaper when they were cheaper down here at like for $700. Even though you bought some at $1,400 up here, because you bought down here, it averages out and does something. Okay, so I want you to think about it like that. So, and that's important to understand as we continue, because buying these stocks that is on the public portfolio, I'm going to continue to buy as time goes on, and our dollar cost average, so these prices right here, will change. It'll say, oh, well, you bought out of all the stocks that you pay. So I bought 53 stocks. As I buy more Genie, it's going to get up to 150 stocks, and then this number is going to reflect, oh, on average, you bought your stocks for $9.57, but this $9.57 will change when I get more. It might be, hopefully, it goes to $8, because I'm smart at buying at smarter times, and then it'll go down, or it might go up, but because of how many stocks I got, it's okay. So we'll be learning that game as we continue. I'm glad that you're here. I have other stuff I can show you, but I don't know how long this video is going to be already. I don't want it to be too long. But I just wanted to put out something. I've been gone for a while. I am sorry. I am here now. One Family Investing. We are here to help educate us. We're like the Angie's List of investing is what I call it, because I'm going through people who are in the game, because I'm new with learning certain ways. I'm good at buying and holding what's called growth stocks, and I'm going to be going over that in some videos later. But in value stocks, I'm good at investing in those, but I'm not so good at the analytics. I can't show you how to follow charts so well, but I can because I have a natural knack for that too, but not in detail. I can just show you like the feeling of it. And it works because I've actually predicted analytically what's going to happen with the stocks as well. But my forte, my talent is seeing a growth stock, seeing how a stock's going to look in 5 or 10 years and go, people will still be attracted to this, not attracted to this one. So thank you for following. Thank you for being here. If you can subscribe, that'd be cool, because I need to get to 50 subscribers in order to start streaming. And turn on the bell notification, because if you're not a part of the newsletter will be these videos for the next couple months anyways, but the newsletter is still there. I would love for you guys to sign up for that. It's on onefamilyinvesting.podia.com, and that will be in the description as well. Until then, have a good time. Be smart about our investing. Follow someone smart and do what they're doing in the beginning. If you've been doing this for a while, then share. Just keep going and share. All right. Until next time, peace.